Hello, everyone. This is the best podcast in the world. I'm here today with a special guest. I brought him.
Guest with
Special needs, you mean?
Yes, he has special needs, but does.
Doesn't matter.
And we are going to discuss a pretty interesting topic. Will AI ever gain Con- will AI ever gain consciousness?
consciousness, yes, right.
So, we'll debate this topic, and we have two perspectives. On one side, we have the argument that AI could one day become conscious. On
That's
the
me.
other side, I'm I'm going to explain why I will never truly gain conscious and will remain a machine. So let's begin.
First of all, when people think about AI, they think of things like ChatGPT and Gemini that we have like today. But these are very surface level. Like they're not really that advanced. Like yeah, if we compare it to like 100 or 200 years ago, yeah. But if we really talk about gaining conscious, we need to go up a level. So we need to find a way to mimic the human brain. Over the years, people have compared the human brain with a calculator. So now, when we think about it, our first thought is like, yeah, AI could never get conscious because it's not alive, you know. But if we get truly to the meaning of what it means to being alive, that's a carbon-based organism. And if we consider the fact that humans and also other types of monkeys only have consciousness, and the other animals don't, um, we can reach to a conclusion that yes, in fact, AI could sometimes have consciousness. And I would really like to hear your opinion about that. Like, do you think that we can reach in such a level that, for example, AI or let's say robots could have the same rights that humans do?
You got an interesting point, but I gotta disagree with you because could AI could never have conscience because it does not have awareness or feelings. It just functions some algorithm. Of course, it can like process different types of information and manipulate them, but it cannot truly understand them because you have to give him some kind of instructions to function. And being conscious involves like subjectiveness. AI cannot be subjective because it functions on a strictly created algorithm, and it could never experience the same emotions like humans because each human has his own experiences, his own habits, and his own traumas even.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that. So, but if we compare the human brain to a calculator, so the human brain functions on neurons, and they can have two states. So you have
Yeah.
it can be excited or inhibited. And if we look at transmitters in the calculator, it's almost a similar process of working. So we have 0 volts and 2 volts, on and off. And for example, if we can make a calculator that's complex enough to mimic the human brain, maybe we can actually create something that can think for itself. So it's true that we don't really know how human consciousness works yet, like not even biologists know. So that's why it's hard to make a conclusion about it. But even if we can determine that robots do have consciousness, it's another question if we would be willing to give them rights. So, for example, if we take like a few hundred years ago,
Black people?
yeah, they didn't have like people consider them. They were considered
You
people.
are a
Racist.
They were considered people
you are
who
Racist.
didn't have rights. So, for example, and not even black people. Like,
For example, you
if you were in 1800s, I would
definitely have bought you,
and
used
used.
you as a housemaid, like.
Let's be honest. Yeah, but if we think about the human nature, I don't think we will be willing to accept another form of intelligence to be superior than us.
Yeah, that's true. Because we as humans, we should be an equal level between ourselves. We cannot like let some type of alien technology invade us and destroy our values and the structure of our society.
Yeah, so for example, if we compare in the 1500s, like we have Christopher Columbus with the European technology that discovered America. So they were just they were very technologically advanced, and Christopher Columbus basically just
Killed everyone.
because
Yeah, he eliminated them.
yeah, he didn't. If they didn't subjugate him, they would just get killed. And I think that if we gave AI that kind of intelligence, it would probably be our fate too.
Yeah, because if we create a monster,
So it reminds me of the book I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream, where AI takes over the world and it basically subjugates people to torture. So this is not, or even the Terminator movies, they're not really that science fiction anymore, are they?
yeah, they're getting pretty realistic. Over thousands of years, from just some monkeys who wanted to survive in a harsh environment
I mean,
to
not
today
all of us, you still.
Still a monkey.
looking.
Look in the mirror then.
And we as humans had to develop, and in order to survive and be the leader of the pack, we had to make some decisions, and this way, over the hundreds of thousands of years, we developed a conscious where we analyze and develop ideas in our mind in order to act.
Yeah,
You
so
know?
basically, this is a very long process. We didn't do this in like 100 years or like
Yeah,
it
it was
took
a
thousands and thousands of years of
yeah,
evolution.
it was a pretty pretty complicated biological process, and I can do that in just a couple of years. And the AI is not endangered like the early humans. They had to fight other animals and gather food in order to survive. But AI does not have that need. It's just an environment created by humans. And also, I would add to the point that AI does not have dreams, ambitions, aspirations. It just follows some. It has a task and it completes it, and it just gets it done. And that's its entire point of existing, because we as humans have a pretty complex way of living, because when we are born we cannot help ourselves, but in time we develop and grow and learn and want to become the best version of ourselves and reach the top of the ladder. And to do that we have to develop our conscience and just get better and better, learn new skills and so on. But AI can do that on its own, because it's just a program used to complete different tasks.
Yes, so I think time will tell if we're right or wrong, and who's right and who's wrong. So I personally think that even with this, we don't have enough information to conclude that in fact AI could have consciousness or could not. But even if it does, I think it will be very hard to distinguish it from, for example, a perfect copy of life.
And that's a good take, because only time can tell. But I believe that humans will never let a machine destroy their will to live and to rule, because that's we are some animals trying to survive and dominate.
And our ego is too big.
Yeah, we cannot let that happen, even if it's possible. So, thank you for listening and stay tuned for maybe a part 2.
I didn't listen.
Hello everyone, this is Mutsu Dragos and Adrian Yanov, and today we're gonna talk about how would Dragos live if he was in the 1800s, right? So,
Would you buy him or not?
By the way, mai țin minte când eram la lecțiile online și doamna Alina ne-a prins pe amândoi când jucam CS2.
Că au 10 lucruri care nu s-au întâmplat.
Bine că doamna Alina nu știe, nu o să știe niciodată de asta.